You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another golf episode 11 today with Charlie Saxon, OU grad and current, hang on, I got to say this right, it's not Webb anymore. Current Korn Ferry Tour player. How's it going, mate?
I'm doing well. Yourself? Thanks for having me on.
It's all right, man. It's been a pleasure. I know, we've been mates for a while, and last time I saw you, I think you were shipping something off because you were still living up here, but now obviously down in Dallas where the game is at, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty funny running into you at the UPS or whatever it is last time. But yeah, moved to Dallas. Just been playing out here so far, living with a couple other guys who play on tour. So it's been fun. Nice.
Well, yeah, I think we should get straight into it. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, where you were born and raised, where you're from, and then how you kind of got into golf.
Yeah. So from Tulsa, Oklahoma originally, born and raised there. It's really the only place that I ever lived until college. My dad, he loved golf. Wasn't like the best golfer by any stretch of the imagination. He was single digit handicap. And I just grew up going to the golf course with him. He'd take me out, and that's really how I learned. I took a liking to it, and just really enjoyed my time out there, and it became my passion. And I've turned that into my career, and wouldn't trade for the world.
Family big OU fans?
Yeah, both parents went to OU. My grandparents on my dad's side, they both went to OU as well. So yeah, Sooner blood runs deep. That played a big deal into my decision to end up going to school there. Yeah,
definitely. No doubt it was a goal from a young age. Was there any other places that kind of gave you an opportunity before choosing to go to OU?
Yeah, it really came down to OU and OSU.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
nice.
I loved everything going on at OSU. Obviously they got all the history, and loved Coach McGraw, who was recruiting me at the time, and all that. But I'm just a Sooner. I've been a Sooner from day one, and I was really excited about the vision that Coach Hibble had for the program, and so that's why I ended up going to OU, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, it's a good Oklahoma story. That you had a pretty good 4 years, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a great player. I was a good player. I've gotten a lot better since school. But just a lot of stuff I learned in the development process of me as a player in college was instrumental. Just laid a lot of the foundation for getting me to being able to play on the Korn Ferry Tour now, and hopefully on the PGA Tour in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think, when we first met, we were down, I think, playing Jones Cup together.
Yeah, that's right.
Jumping on the bus, going to Jones Cup at middle of the night from the airport.
Yeah.
And wow, that's a hard golf course, isn't it? Ocean Forest.
It's not a place that I'm upset that I don't have to go back.
I hated that place.
Yeah.
I loved playing. It's probably the only place I enjoyed shooting 85, because it was like a great place to be for the weekend, but the golf course was just brutal.
Yeah, more times than not, you were going to shoot 85. So
yeah, definitely. And then I think the next time I saw you after that, I think was I know we played a couple of Jones Cups together, but I think the next time I saw you after that was, it was Arizona. It was like the All America tournament we played together.
Oh yeah, Patriot down there, Wigwam.
Yeah, and I think I saw you from a distance, like, there's no way that's Charlie. And you put on like 40 pounds and like doubled the width of your shoulders. I'm like, what's he been doing for the last 2 years?
No, so that's a funny story to itself. My freshman year, we were playing Texas A&M's tournament. And I was just a little scrawny kid. And I remember the first tee I was playing with this big guy named Dan Miernicke. I don't know if Dan remembers this. I should talk to him about it someday. But I pipe one down the middle, hit driver off the first, and he gets up there with 2-iron, big old boy. And we start walking up the fairway, and we get to the first ball, expecting it to be his because he hit 2-iron. Sure enough, it's mine, and he's about 20 yards past me. I'm like, all right, something's got to change here.
Something's got to change.
Yeah.
And I think I recently spoke to Jared at Coda, and he mentioned, you guys have been, he's been a big part, I guess, of helping you with the fitness stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love those guys at Coda. They're doing awesome stuff. But yeah, I did. I was at Coda kind of all through college. Loved it. And then even when I lived in Edmond for 4 years after I graduated OU, and was going to Coda as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I certainly miss those guys down here in Dallas.
Definitely. So you graduate and, you naturally progress through being just around better players and raising your game and working tremendously hard. And obviously, turning pro is in your sights after you graduate. Are you thinking I'm going to go straight to Asia? Cause that's not the usual route, is it, for an American player? And a lot of Americans don't grow up traveling,
right.
And, especially going to Asia. It's like, what am I going to do? What am I doing? So tell me about that process.
Yeah. So honestly, ending up in China was really a bit of an accident. My whole intention was to play Latin Americans. Well, obviously I went to Korn Ferry Tour Key School, I guess web.com at the time, made it to second stage, but missed. So then the option was to go to one of the dev tours, and my intention was to go play on Latin America. But, those Q schools fill up super fast. I signed up on time, but it was, it already filled. So I was waitlisted. And so I was kind of trying to decide what my next best option might be. And China seemed to be it. So I signed up for that, went over to Kunming, China, played the Q school, ended up winning it, got my full status. But the day before the final round, I get an email from Latin American Tour saying that, okay, you got in the Q school, you're off the wait list, but it's in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and it's next week. And I'm in Kunming, China, which is like the central part of the country.
Yeah.
And so I find a flight path, and I ended up flying Kunming to Beijing to Chicago O'Hare to Sao Paulo, Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil to Buenos Aires. It was like 48-hour travel day. And then I got in at Wednesday that afternoon, had to tee it at 6:45 the next morning, ended up getting status on Latin American as well. But so that was kind of crazy. But I played 4 events down there, and I played fine. I think it was like 16th on the money list through 4 events, but I just had something tugging at me that I needed to go to China. And I did, and I loved it. I ended up having to play another year over there 2 years later, but those 2 years, they were a lot of fun, and I really developed as a player and just met some great people, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Was there a couple of American guys you kind of rolled with while you were over there?
Yeah. I didn't know anybody when I went over in 2016. It was just kind of on a whim, hoping for the best. And yeah, you get thrown into such a foreign environment like that, anybody who speaks English, really, like you just buddy up, and by week 2 or 3, had some really good buds, and still good friends with a lot of guys that I met today. Yeah.
No doubt you got some great stories from over there as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Any that you can share that aren't too bad, I guess. So anybody away from traveling to China?
Yeah, funny story. I think we were in Chongqing. We stopped at this little roadside place to get some dumplings, and it looked awesome. They're super cheap. We could get like 30 dumplings a person for like $1.50. We're like, all right, what about that? And they had this little cheap bottle of wine that you could get. This guy, he rolls up the table for us, puts up an umbrella. Like we got the works. We had about 10 of us, and we just feasted. And we're like, man, that was awesome. We're gonna have to come back here the next day, whatnot. Well, we were talking to an American player who was married to a Chinese lady, and she's like, well, where'd y'all go to dinner? And we told her, and she kind of made this face, and we're like, what? And she goes, yeah, it might have been good, but those were probably rat dumplings that you ate. I'm like, oh, really?
Right.
Yeah. So, that was quite the experience right there. Yeah. But no, I got a bunch of stories, and a bunch of my buddies have stories. It certainly wasn't for its struggles, but it was kind of like the best 2 years I never want to have again. So
yeah, definitely. It's on the resume. You've experienced it. Ticked off the list. And you're definitely obviously successful over there. You had 2 wins. Is that right?
No, I won 4 times on PGA Tour China, and then 2 times on China Tour.
I remember the 2 China Tours. That's right. Yeah, because they were and. You just that is what do you think that going over there is a little, I guess, is the competition as easier over there or harder?
Compared to Latin American Tour, I think like the best players were just as good. The total depth of fields wasn't quite the same. Okay. Compared to Canada Tour is probably the most competitive of the dev tours. Sure. I'd put our best 5 players up against Canada's best 5 players, and let's go at it. but just the depth of fields wasn't great. So making a cut was easier, but I mean, winning's winning. Still having to shoot the same.
I totally agree. And I think how hard it is to go across seas and live over there and travel over there, like that plays a factor as well. It's not like you're flying home or driving home, or like I said, Canada's stacked because it's basically the same country, really, and it seems no different. And I've been and it was like, I have no idea. No signs are in English. I have no idea where we're going. I can't imagine I live there, you know?
No, exactly. But I mean, it wasn't the depth of fields maybe compared to Canada weren't the same, but Latin America is pretty similar. But I just feel like maybe because the field depth wasn't there, I had the opportunity to be in contention a little bit more than not, and I was really able to learn the ins and outs of. I mean, you know how it is. You've been a great player yourself. Just being in contention is a different animal, and it takes a little bit of time to get comfortable there, and then expect to be there. And I was fortunate to get there a number of times and kind of expected to be there and really learned how to win over there. So I hope that going forward in my career, that skill will pay off that I learned in China.
Yeah, definitely. It's reps, isn't it, at the top? Once you get comfortable in that situation and you're in a final group and you know that, you might have a one-shot lead, which really is gone after the first hole. You're in the, and you need to stay aggressive. So, you have a great time over there, good 2 years, and then you get you get your status back over here. Mm. How happy is mom and dad that you're coming home?
Yeah, they were pretty thrilled. They came over and visited me once in 2016, once in 2018. I played in Chongqing and then played in Hong Kong. So I got to see a little bit of what I did over there. But yeah, just being able to go to Kansas City or Wichita instead of Chongqing, China is definitely something they're excited about. So it's been fun having them in the gallery a little bit more.
For sure. And then I guess, you had a good year last year. I think there was a few times, like, I think I remember watching you, like, name was getting really close to that 25. And then, it's so jumbled up and there's such a small gap between top 25 and everybody else, right? With the dollar amounts and all the rest of it. It is literally dollars that comes down to. Mm-hmm. What's it like being, playing on tour on Korn Ferry on the web compared to playing against guys in China?
Yeah, I mean, just first and foremost, there are so many more great players. If you go out and have kind of a lousy week, you're probably not going to make a cut. Sure. Whereas in China, you can just whack it around, grind it out, and you're going to make a cut, you're going to make a check. But if you don't have all your ducks in a row playing nice on the Korn Ferry Tour, it's a lot more difficult to make cut. Just way more good players. The margin's a lot smaller. But I mean, in terms of traveling around, it's so much easier. Like weeks on end on the road, yeah, sure, it gets a little bit long sometimes, but it beats the heck out of being over there in China, no doubt. Yeah,
and you had a good was it T3 in Utah? Was it last year?
Yeah, I had an 8-footer to get in the playoff and missed it, unfortunately. But that was awesome. That was my first real sniff at being in contention on the Korn Ferry Tour. It was kind of a bit of a validation moment that, okay, I really do belong out here. I can win out here. And parlayed that into a pretty solid kind of rest of the year and nearly got a PGA Tour card in the playoffs. So yeah, hopefully to use that bit of confidence going forward into this year. And definitely. Whatever that might entail.
Right. Because and I know you said before we started recording that you guys finally have the call up that, when's go time, and it's now you can really start preparing to get back to playing and making money and working, right? Professional is your job. What was, were you up here recently for that Oak Tree tournament?
Yeah, I played that. It was really cool.
Howling, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was howling.
Oh, it was howling. Yeah, the scores indicated that as well.
I was playing up in Edmond on Friday, and I was like, there's no way they're playing tipped out in this. And I'm sure you were. Like, I can't imagine a worse place to play other than Ocean Forest.
Oh, I know. Everett set it up pretty nasty for us. So no, it was a grind, as Oak Tree National normally is.
Yeah. Good. I mean, it's nice to get back into some competitive golf though.
Oh, for sure. I played a little tournament down at Merrido here in Dallas a couple of days before, and then played that one at Oak Tree. It's just fun to get back to the old stomping grounds and seeing familiar faces. I love that place. And then
a lot of good Oklahoma names in that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, a lot of guys I played with for those 4 years I was living and playing out at Oak Tree and after college, and yeah, just some good friends. So it was really fun to see everybody.
Was it quite a chilled out environment, or were people still staying competitive?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people were competitive, but it was a much more relaxed environment. I mean, people were trying and you know, trying to shoot their best score and get some tournament reps going. But yeah, you know, it wasn't like your normal tournament per se.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, so I think Reen shot 69 the second day, and I'm thinking, how is that possible? Because it was less than 40
that day.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That's a nut score. But yeah, it was good to see the field and good to see the boys kind of getting back together and at least playing some golf. I think, did you play with Trimble up there? Or I know he was playing.
I don't. Yes, I did. I did play with Trimble. I think the final round I played with Trimble.
Yeah, I know he's knocking around up there as well. But tell me a little bit about, because obviously every amateur golfer knows what no laying up is, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about how that came about. And you're in there. Is it the young hitters?
Yeah, the young hitters, yeah.
I've seen you in a few videos, you know, dominating some Chipotle on the golf course or whatever. You know, like, tell me about that experience. Like, what are they like? How did that come about?
Yeah, it kind of came about organically. A couple of the guys who my agent represents, they live in Jacksonville. They're just good buddies with the no laying up guys, and I guess somebody just pitched the idea one day. Hey, you know, why don't we get like a group of Korn Ferry Tour guys, and you know, kind of a group coming up that we can, you know, follow. It'd be a good deal for the no laying up guys. You know, we could be representing them with their logo and stuff out on tour, and then they'd be able to, you know, put us out on social media or talk about us on the podcast and stuff, like when we're playing well. And I mean, they're just good guys. It's a great kind of community, if you will, to be a part of it there. And so, yeah, it all happened like that. And so, you know, I played some pro-ams with them over the course of the year. They were out on tour. We did a couple podcasts and whatnot. And it was actually really fun because, you know, our names would be in the podcast and whatnot. And so I bet you every event since I was announced as a young hitter, I had just some random guy who I'd never met in my life, you know, come out decked out in no laying up gear and follow me 18 holes at the tournament we were at.
So cool.
So it was kind of fun to just get some fans, if you will, just because of my association with no laying up. It's obviously awesome what they do. They have a great podcast, just a different spin on golf media, I think. And it's really caught on by the following that they've amassed.
It's like every amateur's spin on golf, isn't it? Without any like politics or media dollars or whatever. Like, it's just everything that we'd talk about normally. That's what they talk about. And it's great to see. And, you know, being an international and being overseas or traveling or playing golf, there's nothing better when you're away from home than having someone come up to you that you've never met before that supports you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's, I'd never really experienced that, I don't think. And it was kind of cool. I mean, it happened the first week and it was kind of, well, that's neat. And then the second week, and then, you know, just over the course of the year, because all right, who's showing up this time?
Yeah. What's, I guess, you know, kind of moving away from tour stuff, what's some of and yesterday or recently was announced that the PGA is going to be in Tulsa in 2030, is it, up in Southern Hills?
Yeah.
I haven't played there yet. It's on the list, but I know you've played there since they've done the redo, right?
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to have to make that. We're going to have to fix that. You're going to have to come up and play.
Yeah. I need to play that golf course. I know Ryan's up there doing a great job, and I know he's teaching a lot of your buddies as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of exciting for it to come back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Being the place that, you know, I grew up and really learned golf. I mean, that would be such a dream to be able to play that week. Just thinking about it kind of gives me chills. But yeah, I mean, for the club, it's going to be awesome. The changes that have gone on with the golf course are incredible. I couldn't be more impressed with the place, and I think it's going to really be awesome for the tour guys to get out there and see the new spot. I think everybody's going to love it. I think it's a lot harder than it was. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to that week and the response that everybody has.
Definitely. Is there any other golf courses up there that stand out, or any in the state that if people come into Oklahoma should play golf, that's where they should play?
Yeah, I mean, Oak Tree National as well. We already talked about that a little bit. I mean, I'm biased. I love Jimmy Austin. I think it's a really fun golf course.
I think Jimmy Austin is very underrated still.
Oh, very underrated.
So every time I go there, it's amazing.
It's great. It's always in perfect condition, great greens. I really love Belmar as well. I think week in and week out, those might be the best greens in the state. It's a fun little golf course. You can shoot some scores out there, but I always love going out there for qualifying when we were in school.
Yeah. Anyone's out of the state that are on the list that you haven't played yet that are really like, I have to go play there before my life's over?
I'd like to play some more golf in the UK. And you could probably point me in the right direction where to play. I've only taken one trip over there. I played Carnoustie, Kingsbarns, and I played European Tour Q School at it's somewhere in Scotland. It was this it was an inland golf course, but Roxborough.
Okay.
So those are my only experiences over there. But I've just seen videos. My dad's taking trips. I've had friends taking trips, and I would love to get to experience a little bit of links golf. I just think the whole vibe and the history and the way golf's played over there is really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Was there ever, I guess when you were playing in China, you didn't really know if Web or Challenge Tour would have been the way to go. Was there ever a route that could have gone Challenge Tour and European Tour?
Well, so I actually had a full European Tour card last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I played those two tours. I played PGA Tour China, which got me onto the Korn Ferry Tour. Sure. And then I played China Tour, which the money winner got a full European Tour card. And so I won that money list and got a card. And so I kind of had a decision to make, like, what's my path going to be? Because I had two very viable options. If I'd only had the European Tour option, I would have been thrilled about it. Like, travel the world, play the second biggest tour in the world. But I just kind of saw my future. I want to play golf in the States, as an American, and I want to play on the PGA Tour. And, there's 50 cards allotted each year to guys playing off the Korn Ferry Tour, whereas there's, maybe 2 or 3 guys from the European Tour make the jump.
Yeah.
And so I played a heavily weighted Korn Ferry Tour schedule. I ended up playing 3 events in the European Tour. But, again, like, I don't know, in hindsight, I don't know what the right call was, but I just know that I want to be in the States full time, and had the European Tour been the only option, that would have been awesome. But yeah, I chose the Korn Ferry route.
I think, with what was it, Azinger's comment a few months back of, PGA Tour or whatever it was, the European Tour is not as strong. Mm-hmm. I actually agree. Like, it isn't. I think top guys are the best, but depth of field across the European Tour compared to the PGA Tour is nowhere near it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Everyone took offense, and I'm like, it's just speaking fact. Like, you look at the numbers, it's true.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with shooting around even pretty much most rounds around on the European Tour, whereas you do that on the US Tour, any US Tour, you got no chance.
Right.
So, has there been any golf trips that you've taken outside of, going to the UK, or it might have just been a bit of fun with the boys that are pretty memorable, or a trip with dad or anything that stand out?
Yeah. So that's honestly a bit of a regret with golf is, because I've been playing competitively for so many years. I really haven't been able to do a golf trip, I guess. Most of my golf trips have been for tournaments or, for that kind of deal. So my dad and I, we, I think it was for his birthday, we were kind of talking about doing a trip to Bandon Dunes at some point. And I think we were planning on this fall or next fall or something like that. And that'd be fun. I've never really gotten to go on a destination golf trip where, just being able to hang out, spend time with family. So yeah, looking forward to that whenever that might come about. Yeah,
I'd love to go to Bandon as well. I've had friends who have gone and they just said it's just, golf heaven, right? And just in the middle of nowhere until you go to golf courses. So.
Yeah, I'd be curious about your take on it. You growing up playing a lot of links golf and how that compares to the links golf that you had back home.
Yeah, from the pictures, it looks fairly competitive and fairly comparable. I don't think there's, you get golf courses in the States that say they're links and they're far from it. But I think that's probably definitely the best one. There's another place as well. I think it's Cabot Links. Is that way up north? That's supposed to be really good. I think the No Laying Up boys did a video on it.
Yeah, that's in. Is that the one in Nova Scotia?
Yeah. Okay. That place looks mega as well. I think that's pretty links golf.
I would love to get over there. It kind of looked like a blend of golf in the UK and then golf in New Zealand, like some of those amazing vistas that they have over there. At least that I've seen.
Is that the place in New Zealand that's nuts?
Yeah, we're playing in China. We played with a bunch of Kiwi guys, and I mean they raved about that place. So that's definitely on the bucket list someday.
Definitely. Do you play any rugby with them?
Gosh, no.
Not with your size now.
Yeah, I'm fragile.
It's a rough sport to be playing, especially when you're a golfer. Well, I think we'll finish with. I'm trying to think what I have on my notes here. You know, finally, obviously, it's been a crazy year, but you've had to go ahead to start. Do you know what the first tournament is, or is it just said, "Hey, it's coming soon"? Yeah, no,
we actually have our the whole rest of the year out. So we got 17 events starting in Jacksonville at Sawgrass on the other course, the Valley course. Starting, I think June 8th is the start date, and so we're playing 17 in the next 18 weeks. So cool. It'll be a full immersion back into it. But yeah, just looking to being out on the road again, traveling, competing, working for that end goal. So yeah, it'll be good to get back to hopefully a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, no doubt. Awesome, mate. Well, look, I really appreciate your time. I'm glad that we have Zoom and technology that we can do this while you're down in Dallas, and no doubt we'll be on the call with a bunch of other players soon enough as well. But no, I wish you all the best for the year, and no doubt you'll get that card sometime soon.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the time, and would love to peg it back in Oklahoma next time I'm back.
Definitely. Just let me know.
All right. Sounds good. See you.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.